Hello coders, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into the event driven architecture in C. So if you ever wonder how program reacts to the button clicks, sensor inputs or the network messages, this video is for you. We'll cover the EDA, that is event driven architecture, and focusing on the C programming language here, and we will see why it is needed, what are the types of events, and what are the event driven models are there. And the last of the video will take an example to demonstrate any one of this model. Okay, so let's deep dive into this event driven system. So first we'll understand what is a event manager. Okay, so a system that waits for an event and dispatch them to appropriate handlers. Okay, so these terms are often confusing if you are a first time listener to this topic. So what is an event? Event is any activities through which your program reacts. Okay, so for example, here we have different types of events that we have. Okay, so first is a file descriptive event. For example, you ever use a socket or a pipe, and it's a type of IPC mechanism in which you send some data to a client process or any other process, and that process will react to that event. So that is the first type of event what we have. Okay. And second type of event is a timer event. So we have some timer. After the expiry of the timer, an event is been triggered. Okay. So we also see the events as signal events. We can send a signal to a process, and that process can react depending on their handler, whichever they have registered to that process, and it will appropriately react to that. Okay, so we have custom application events as well. Okay, so these are the types of event, and when we fire these events, what will happen? The process that is waiting for the event will eventually do the operation depending on the event that came up. Okay, so if you see here, we have an event loop. Okay, so this is something like a while loop, and it is continuously monitoring the state of the event. So it's just checking the events, and it is waiting for the event. So the event can be of any of these types. Okay, so then when this event came to this process, it will have a dispatcher handler. Okay, so depending on that dispatcher handler, this event will be calculated, and the operation through which this event is identified, it will be done. Okay, and again that process goes into the loop structure. Okay, so here this is very common model that we use in our C programs. While using sockets, we use a select system called ePOL, something like that. So as a server, that process is listening to the events from the client. Okay, so from this we have some event driven models as well. So whatever we are discussing here, that is an event loop model in which we have an event source. Event source will be these, for example, a signal, a timer event, or a file descriptor event. Okay, and we have an event loop, and this event loop may be of select system call. Okay, and we have a dispatcher. So when that socket sends some data to this select, it will process that data depending on the operation on that data, and the handler will execute. Okay, so there are some features of this event driven model, that is event loop model. They have a centralized control. It means we have a single server which is which have the select system call, and that only is listening for the event. So all the clients are sending data to the same server only. So it's usually a single threaded, but it can be make multi-threaded depending on the operation. And we can use a select poll, epoll, like these APIs here. And we have synchronization, dispatch after detection. Okay, so these all are the feature of this single event driven model, that is event loop model. Okay, then we have the next model here. So what is this next model? It's a public subscribe model. You ever have heard of this model? So it's a IoT based model. For example, we use MQTT or similar type of event manager. So in that, they are using this public subscribe model in which we have one publisher, okay, and there is one topic. We have multiple subscriber for that topic. So if some event comes to this topic, it will be notified to all the subscriber. Okay, so it's very loose coupled. Okay, because we have to register to that topic and we'll get that information. So any client can register to that topic and get the notification. So it's a one to many distribution. So publisher is one, and we just register to that topic and we'll get all the notification to the topic once the publisher published to that topic. Okay. So they have dynamic subscription. So we have multiple clients that can come and add in time and subscribe to that topic. Okay, so there is no direct dependency between a producer and a consumer. So here we have the producer and the publisher, and the consumer is a subscriber. Okay, so this is one type of model. And next model is a message queue model. So here what we have a producer, we have a queue as well here, and we have a consumer as well. So this queue, what it helps is we have multiple data that can be queued up without losing any of the data. If we have a burst of data, it may get loose in other models, but here we don't have that thing. We already queued that data, and this is temporarily decoupled. So we have some async, uh, you know, uh, information or the event that is been triggered. We have buffering support here because we are using queue here. You can save the events and will process when the processor got some time. Can handle burst. Okay, so we can have multiple events at same particular second or millisecond, and we'll save that event in that queue and will process depending on our requirement. So consumer will take it from the queue itself and support multi-threaded processes. So in case of multi-threading operation, we can use this thing, because if you don't use this thing, your data may be lost. Okay. So the next one is a callback based models. So here in this callback based model, we have an event and we have a callback registration process as well, and that is a function pointer execution. Okay, so it's a direct execution. So it's tightly coupled. We have event and we have handler. So when the event came, the handler itself will have that function information that is being called with that data. Okay. So no buffering is there because we are not using any queuing here, and have load latency. So very fast as compared to the other. So these four are the main event driven models that have been used. Okay. So let's jump back to one of the example of having this event driven model. So here I have a simple example, and here we have event as a input from the terminal. Okay, so I have registered custodian file number. So what it does, we will take the input from the terminal itself and it will feed to this select call. So this is the example of the event loop system, because we are using a while loop here. Okay, and we have a select call. So once we register this FD to this select, then the select will be watching to this FD. And once we got an event, it got processed here. Okay. So it will check whether it is true, whether some data is there at that FD, and after that it will read the input and it will print the data. Okay, simple as that. So this is very simple example to demonstrate this event system, and let's compile it and test how it works. Okay, so if I use GCC hyphen o event loop and compiled. Okay, so when I use this, it's showing waiting for an event. So what I will do, I'll enter some data. Hello from user one. When I enter, you will see hello from user one is built there, and some garbage value is also there. So maybe it's due to the array where we are storing, and it is again going to this wait for event. It means it's again watching for that FT. Again, if you do hello from user two, you will see you will get an event handler thing here, hello user two. So similarly, whatever input or whatever event we are giving from the terminal, it's been processed by the select system call, and it is been printing on the output itself. Okay, so if I remove this and get again to that event manager, so here if you see our input, our terminal is what you say as the event generator or producer, and select is a event identifier. So when an event comes, it goes to the select for its identification, and select will process it, and it will read the data. At the time of this processing, select is already ready to take other output. So it is not a multi-threaded program. So for having data from multi-thread applications, we have to uh, change something here to make it multi-threaded. Okay, so that we'll see in the next session. Okay, so this is what we have for this session. So we mention all the things here. So in the next video, we'll discuss more about these event-driven models, and we'll take the examples of other publish subscribe model and other message queue models extra. So let's be tuned. See you in the next session. Thanks.